What going on, everybody? David Mitchell? No! No. What going on, everybody? David?
Because she don't go to bed.
Ow! Come on, dude. Hey, that I'm able to do this. What going? Oh my! Oh, come on! What needs me?
Yeah. No.
What go? What going on, everybody? David Mitchell here, and sorry about my wife trying to tickle me.
Did
But-
you owe me a soda?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
But welcome back to another episode of Fan the Train, episode 77. Oh my god. And we're going to go choo.
Let's go, Foamers.
Now I can like a goofball. Alright, let's try.
Goofball.
Let's get the man from Tokyo online.
The man from Tokyo? I think that guy's good.
Ringing. Ooh, you can turn on fan, by the way.
I just want to sleep.
But yeah, when if you can see, we're talking about Steam and a lot of stuff today, and interesting stuff because a lot have been going on.
Really?
Oh yeah, all right. Look like he's not on at the moment. Oh, sorry, I cannot call you today. I'm kind of hopefully next. Ah, dang it! Up there. Let's see a bright line on because ooh, we got some crazy stuff to talk about. Because we're only about a couple days to a few weeks away from the grand opening from Miami to Orlando.
Really, Dave?
Oh yeah. Alright, let's see. A minute. Oh, he is. I could probably call him on Facebook Messenger. There go the train clock.
Really?
1 minute. There we go. Most of the people that I would be talking to in the railroading community are not online right now. Wow. That is soccer. Huh. Sorry, I got that vapor rub in my eye. That reason I took my glasses off. Let's check it. But it did crazy. Let's check who on Facebook or check with Messenger to be more exact. Because I'm doing some stuff. Hmm. Where is Genesis? Hmm. 1 minute. The dirt bike going off. Well, let me call Russ or Russell.
Hello?
Hey Russ, welcome to the stream again, bud. It's been a while.
Oh, I don't want to be on stream. I'm not really in the mood.
Oh, you're not having a good day?
So sorry.
No, not really.
Alright.
Alright, goodbye.
Later. Alright, look like Russ is not having a good day.
Russ?
Yeah, Russell. Look like he not having a good day. Oof. You know he not having a good day because of that voice. Let's check the Genesis online. It's funny how Brightline real name is Genesis with
Okay.
Right, look like, but yeah. Ironically, even though technically everybody is probably heading home right now, so probably not be able to. But wow, yeah. Ever since last week's video, I'll be honest. A lot of people have mixed opinion on the new Heritage unit. Not gonna lie about that. A lot of people are mixed on a lot of stuff in the community right now. That I'm not gonna lie about. But yeah. But the other thing, I hope y'all enjoyed the Rail Fandom videos from earlier. And first time in a couple months that I did 2 where it was 3 in both videos.
Like it will show us the finished product.
Let's see. Would you like to join the chat for a few minutes? All right. Let's see if he is willing to, because I'm trying to get them guys on. Like, y'all heard that Russ was not having a good day. Which, that, I'm not going to lie, that can suck. Oh, he driving.
He wants to drive?
No. You know what? Let me try to get Train Daddy on if he is not
Train Dada?
on Discord. Never had him on the live stream before. Oh, and Vel, one who did my hair that way. But he is driving, so now I'll be honest. There have been a lot more stuff with the trains lately. Hopefully, I can catch a lot more. minute. You busy? Good. Check. Let's try to check if Griff online because he was earlier. I'll be honest. All right, real quick. Reason why I am doing a live stream. Oh, hey man, you doing good?
Yeah. I got back to the gym.
Ah, nice. You got done bulking yourself up, am I right?
Yeah. Funny enough, I have to take a rail trail to get there.
Hey, dude, you're going to laugh at it. They're a gum now called Chad gum.
What?
They're a gum now. You know, like bubble gum, like gum?
Yeah.
Called Chad gum.
What is it?
Found it from a YouTuber. It popped up in my, suggestion page of a guy selling this bubblegum called Chad bubblegum.
Funny.
I know. You got a Chad there when they're chewing Chad bubblegum. I had to.
You're good.
Hey, you know the Great Smoky Mountain Tour Railroad up there that I was talking about last week?
Yeah, I heard something happened to him.
Well, they are getting their second steam engine up and running in 2026.
Cool.
And they're going to be an oil burner, meaning they're going to be too clean as steam up there,
Nice.
One of them are going to be green,
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. Speaking of that, you're going to be blown away at it, but CXX officially getting rid of PSR. It official.
What's precision? That's nice. Hopefully they'll
And here it's saying, CPKC.
Yeah.
They're talking about running more trains.
Nice. I see them sometimes on the CSX line near me because they want to get to the Port of Newark, and that's the easiest way.
I know.
Hopefully I'll see more forward power.
Oh, I know. Crazy in it, I think that with the sake of to make the railroad wake up to get rid of PSR, the merger and the big train wreck in Ohio.
Yeah. Well, precision. Oh, my Xbox geeking. All right. No, precision schedule railroading works in theory, but all the railroad just took it way too far.
To be honest,
it's supposed to work as a good scheduling method, and then they just turned it into a cost method by running insanely long trains that are not maintained very well.
I know. To be honest, if it weren't for Wall Street, the railroad would be probably doing way better now. Now, am I right?
Yeah, if they weren't monopolies, they would be good. They'd have more competition.
True. Oh. It's crazy you say that because let me bring up something else. The investors are now feeling the impact of the consequence of what happened when you do PSR.
Yeah, I'm glad they're finally realizing that because the cost caught up to them.
Yep, so trying to cut corner and try to, do everything at short haul, it's starting to cost them more now.
Mm-hmm.
So karma is finally catching up with Wall Street. It about time that happened.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that, I'm going to ask you, what American route do you think are going to come next?
I didn't see anything in the roadmap, but I didn't look at it very closely.
I know.
So, I don't have anything coming soon. I'm hoping we get some Midwest, Chicago area stuff, because I feel like that would be good for the game.
Yeah, that would be heck. if they do a Chicago route or something like in Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Yeah, some Midwest. They need to.
I know. You know the Iron Railroad up there in Minnesota?
Yeah, I went up there. I had it's up in Duluth, right?
Yeah, the Iron Ore Railroad, the one right there above Duluth. You know that short line railroad?
I went there 2 years ago.
That would be perfect for Train Sim World. Like,
the only problem is they don't run enough trains.
I know, but it got them interesting locomotive and interesting rolling stock that have not been seen in Train Sim World yet.
Yeah.
How do I see it before? Okay.
And saying is it that my point is that it would be a good route for someone who don't want high frequency but did want a casual route, because let's be honest, there are a lot of people out there who want some casual route in Train Sim World. You know?
Here, I have a better idea. So I was up there. CN has a similar operation up there. Oh, I just deleted all the signals for the station. I'm playing Transport Fever too. They see. What am I on? Give me a second. My brain's processing what I just did. All right, we're getting that. Okay, so basically, they have a similar operation up there, but there's a lot of like main lines up there, so they can do those locals with the iron ore docks, and they can run mainline service up there.
True.
I got a video of some manifest train run out there. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that would be good. Like, heck, having like iron ore trained, like a route that is.
And they already have a CN copyright, so they don't need to obtain those.
I know.
Which is another huge problem for creating routes.
I know, that is true. I'll be honest. That is a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? But also...
I opened up a single track high-speed line that's making me a lot of other reasons. I bought one TGV. I made a tunnel under a river to connect like the other side of the map with the main side of the map I started working on. And it's making a crap ton of money for some reason.
That is funny. No roads?
Okay, so you can do only trains in this game. Well, I like to start out with trucks because it's usually easier just to start out with trucks.
But I think I know what is going on, because look, if they can't get from city by car, they're going to take the next best thing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and this TGV gets up to like 170 miles an hour. That's way faster than any car, any car legally.
True. And you remember when I talked about that high-speed work in medium distance where airlines cannot work? Like anything around 200 to 800 miles is bad for airline, but pretty good for high-speed rail. My
biggest pet peeve, because I play on console, I don't play on computer. The map's not like insanely big like the computer maps are. Like they're only like 20 by 20 kilometers, so they're not very big. So high-speed rail barely works, but this line is going from one end of the map to the other, so it works. Because I just have a bunch of S-Bahn systems in the middle.
S-Bahn.
I have an Austrian type route, but or not Austrian, so it's Swiss. But they don't have the Swiss high-speed trains in here. So I'm using a French one.
Now, one thing I will say, like, the S-Bahn stuff could work here in the U.S. in, like, certain regions. Like, am I right?
We already have some S-Bahn type systems, like...
in California, Texas.
Yeah, when that opens up, that's good. Metro North lines that are electric, Long Island, because they're very high frequency, they're electric, so they're pretty much S-Bahns.
True. And you know, there was an S-Bahn route in Texas I was thinking about.
It's like an S-Bahn. They use similar equipment.
I know, but when it first started, they had red locomotives at first. I can't remember the name of it, but I know it's not in. I know it near Dallas, or not Dallas, but in Fort Worth somewhere.
I think it's run by TRE.
I believe so, but they're also a short line railroad that operate on that line too.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I know it's not Trinity Rail, with a different company.
No, I might be.
But this railroad uses It's the Texas Central, if I'm right.
No, the Texas Central was a high-speed program, which never came to fruition, sadly.
Well, right now on life support, that's insane. So it could be.
No, I think it's done for unless someone takes it over.
Agreed.
Sadly.
Sad
to see, but I think it's just what's going to happen.
But it's a crap when you did think about how much power the big oil company and car company and airlines have. Because let's be honest, they all cahooted together to stop that. Because let's be honest, am I right?
I'll double check in the high speed line. I'm gonna get another train since people are starting to really like it.
Because let me be honest, and what I'll be honest about, when you did think about it, if they had Texas Central from Fort Worth to Dallas, or I meant Fort Worth to Houston, I meant, let's just say if they had that, that would have decimated car dealerships, mechanic shops, car insurance businesses, and roadside tow truck company. It would decimate all of that, You want to know the reason why? Because people will have a better option where they won't have to be forced to drive, Plus, they would not have to afford to buy a vehicle. Am I right?
Yeah, and it's a win-win for both sides. If you want to drive your car, there's less cars on the road, and if you want to take the train, you can take the train.
Like a YouTuber named Alan Something is talking about a video talking about some stuff, if you know what I mean. Oh, it's okay, I'm on the light.
I hear you.
Oh, sorry. But what I'm trying to say is that a YouTuber did put a video today talking about Alan. His name is Alan Something with his actual YouTube channel name.
Oh, I watch him.
He's talking about the 15-minute cities, which I do think is a good ideal. It did that. Some people are saying, "Oh, it's bad. It's going to force people to be segregated."
I haven't watched the video yet because as soon as I got home from school, I started riding my bike to the gym.
All right. Well,
so I have to watch it now.
Well, I'm not going to. The video talking about people who are trying to stop the 15-minute city from happening, and though people are mostly cities that are walkable, where you can walk and bike around and get to everywhere you want to go with no problem.
Yeah. All right, I'll look into that.
And Jane is that he talked about the people are dead against it, and most of the people are dead against it are car companies, to be honest. Because let's be honest, if you don't have to have a car to go to place that you live at, it'll make it easier,
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we got a train getting ready to go by.
A train?
Well, let me see which way it's coming from. This way, waiting for the headlight. It is a southbound, meaning it is M409.
Cool.
I know the train numbers, Heck, I can actually see them from my room when I look out,
Nice.
That's how close I live to tracks, like I can see them from my house. Now, here it's saying is that he really ripped into them, and also here it's saying they're saying, "Oh," and I'm dead against it. When I was talking about Fed Now earlier last week, Pennsylvania just banned it too. And Jane, is it that people are saying, "Oh, Fed Now going to be part of that 15-minute city to make it where you can't go anywhere else"? Bullshit lie. You want to know who really would support that? The car companies. The car company would support that because, let's be honest, they'll make it harder where you can't walk anywhere and where you're forced to buy a car, even worse.
Yeah.
And that's our reason why I'm dead against it. But yeah. But it did crazy. The train is so heavy that we taken the Baby Yoda thing on the wall. Yeah. That how close I am to track. You know your quote when it's Jake's up. Speaking of, I hear the DPU coming up.
Nice.
Yep. DPU. Be along, boy. But
I noticed CSX rarely ever has like a train without a DPU.
I know Norfolk Southern is too. I'm watching a live stream of Horse to Curb on Virtual Rail Fan, and almost every other train had a DPU on it. You know? And that mind-boggling, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of, and also last week, when you remember when I was talking about Alan Fisher and when he did the video on Econ Man? Econ, he really screwed that YouTube channel up. Like, he really decimated that YouTuber career because, Jesus, he losing subscribers left and right. And Dana, he should have kept his mouth shut and not made the video. You want to know the reason why?
Why?
Because the train community going after him, the transit community going after him, and the people who support walkability and bikeability are going after him. He pissed off all of them. With his, you know, and Dean, I know because I am a railroad person. You never disrespect and lie about the railroad and transit community, because the moment you lie about them and be biased and trying to make yourself look smarter than them, they'll just nuke you in oblivion, you know? Am I right? Heck, he already was over 600,000 subscriber, about to be 7,000, or technically 700,000. So that a big blow, you know?
Yeah.
Like, literally, in 2 weeks, he lost that many subscribers. And I'm not gonna lie, that is when you know you fucked your YouTube career up, and when you lose that many people. And
posted on YouTube, I've been getting a few hundred views per video.
200 views per video?
Yeah, I got 300, 200, and I haven't checked the most recent one I posted. I just posted Railfan and stuff.
Damn. Dude, I need to start posting more Railfan and shorts, because, let's be honest, that's how I get a lot of views.
Well, I just post like 5-minute long videos because I don't go after that long. But I'll get something neat. Like one of my videos, I got one of the FRA cars. The most recent one I got the Beach Grove and the Corridor Clipper on the same train.
Well,
so, like, as long as I have those in it and I have those keywords, people will look them up and I get more views.
Well, I did post 2 Railfan and videos earlier today. One with 12 minutes and the other one with 15 minutes. Both of them. New
high-speed train. What train should I get? Should I get the ICE or TGV?
Probably the ICE, because it go even faster.
It's the ICE one or the old TGV.
Probably. It's up to you, man. Don't let me.
I'll take the ICE one because I already have a TGV. Might as well mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, Vela in the room. You know, when I started the live stream, she would try to tickle the crap out of me. Literally. But to be honest, like, I'll be honest, he really screwed his career up. Because he said something and he should have not made the video, because now he going to have a downfall. Heck, let's not forget that not real life Lord still recovering from his F up when he did that one video, you remember?
Yeah.
Like, hell, real life War lost over freaking 900,000 subscribers, almost 1 million. And Alan Fisher nuked him for that. Like, literally, in about 2 weeks, and just like that one, he lost that many, and he had to delete the video because, let's be honest, he was getting hate comments in there. Heck, thing is that his subscriber rate have not come back up because when he did the repost, trying to be re-corrected himself, there are tilts up that he have not meant to say that he should have, that Alan Fisher would have re-corrected him on, you know?
Yeah.
So, not just that, Alan Fisher done nuked 2 YouTuber career into oblivion. And when I'll be honest, if I was them, I would say, you know, to stop YouTube and to get a normal job again, you know? Because, let's be honest, they done ruined their careers. Am I right?
Well, I do realize Lore had a crap ton of subscribers.
Oh, I know he did, but to be honest, his subscriber rate have not recovered. He's still losing subscribers. Not as fast as almost a year ago when he made that video, but still a lot. Like, literally. And, you know, Econ Man is starting to have it happen, too.
I never heard of Ecom Man, so I'm assuming he didn't have that many subscribers.
E-commerce man is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Alan Fisher did a video talking about him, you know? And he, to be honest, he had more subscribers than Alan Fisher, but, you know, his number is slowly going down. Like, Alan Fisher really nuked him, you know? One thing, Alan Fisher, if you're looking to this, kudos to you, man, to take it down the a-holes. Because, let's be honest, it's about time that someone starts taking down the a-holes who are dead against rail transit and who are big car supporters, you know? Because he is standing up for people like us. Am I right? Like, standing up and making sure we have walkability, bikeability, reliable transit. He's standing up for all of us. Because that, and also Econ Man is only thing that he's supporting is freaking cars. He is car-centric NIMBY, you know? My point is that if you're going to support a car and shit on rail transit and walkability and bikeability, then you're no good person, you know? Because I'm just tired of the a-hole thinking that they're right, you know? Look, they had their way since the 1950s. We finally had enough of their behavior. Like, end it now. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like, enough is enough with the car bullshit centric crap and trying to say, oh, cars are freedom. No, there ain't. Cars are not freedom. And everybody's been brainwashed into thinking that. Am I right?
Yeah.
And you know I'm right about that.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Sorry. No, they don't have a new IC. The newest bullet train in this game is, I'm pretty sure, the Avail Liberty.
It is the Avail Liberty. Don't get me wrong, that's a cool looking train, you know?
No, I have European trains selected. I didn't do American ones on this map.
I know. You know, there is a country in Europe that uses American U-boat locomotive.
Which country? I
can't remember it. It's somewhere.
I'm assuming it's one in the Balkans.
Yes, it's one in the Balkans.
Alright. Because I knew they liked the most European countries like the EMD Class 66.
I know. Tell Kaide that I'm live streaming. I'm sorry. Me and my wife, when our friend tried calling, well, we were talking, and I having her text her telling her that I'm live streaming on YouTube and doing stuff. But to be honest, man, like that cool. Like, let's not forget that China had them locomotives too, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy that they ended up with American U-boats in China, like them locomotives, you know? Like, that I'm not gonna lie. Even though I don't like China because of what they are, but it's kind of cool knowing that them type of locomotives ended up there, you know? Heck, I don't hate the people. I just hate how their country is run, you know? Then people need more freedom. But, yeah. So, you got school tomorrow?
Yeah, I got Memorial Day weekend off, though. I'm going to Montreal.
Oh, you're going to Canada this weekend.
Yeah, not exactly the most patriotic thing ever.
Oh, you didn't know you're going to have a hard time using cash in Canada now.
Using what?
Money in Canada now.
Oh, why is that?
Canada went to a cashless society.
Weird.
Look it up. It actually did happen only a couple of days ago.
I was using my debit card, I guess.
Debit card.
Well, Canada getting bad, and I would not be surprised if a civil war break out in Canada against the people and the government.
It might happen here too, because we want to switch to. Well, I wouldn't say we. I don't want to, but people want to switch to a cashless system.
Here, you're going to be mind-boggled about this, but 80% of the United States said no to a cashless society and no to a centralized bank.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, almost 90%, technically 80% of the United States do not want to go to a cashless society.
Yeah.
And what did say? If you try to pour that on the American people, you know you're going to be dealing with a bad nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll be honest, the people will fight back.
Yeah.
You will have banks burnt to the ground. You have government building burnt to the ground. You have government official and bank official who supported it hung on trees. Like, no kidding, they would do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if that happened, you know? Because if they try doing it, there are going to be a lot of people who work for the bank and the government who will be dead and hanging. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised of it. Because, trust me, people here in the U.S. will not put up with it, you know?
No.
Heck, let's not forget how the British did that crap to back in the 1700s with their crap, and we rebelled against them and made our country, you know?
Yeah.
Like, these people think it won't happen again who are in government, but oh yes, it will. And I can guarantee it. Because people are not going to go with a cashless society having their money controlled by government telling them what they can buy and what they cannot. You know?
Yeah.
Because no one liked the government telling them what they can buy. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Heck, crime will go straight through the roof with that too, you know? My point is that it is not going to end well for them. And I can guarantee that. Like, it will backfire on them badly. Heck, Senate are already trying to put a bill in to ban the cashless society bill, you know?
Yeah.
And trying to put a ban on Fed now. So they're praying it actually backfiring, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And here at Tane, what I would do if I were president, I would put a law in saying if you go try to support a cashless society or try to put a bill in for a centralized bank, that will be treason. Like,
Yeah.
that will incentivize them, okay, I don't want to die for treason because I want a centralized bank that'll run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oof. That sucks. But I'll be on it. This is what I'll be on it about. about it going to backfire on them, you know? Heck, being that it was a good thing that the TikTok bill got banned, you know?
What happened?
You remember the bill that was supposed to ban TikTok?
Yeah.
Got shot down to the ground. And I'm not going to lie, it was a good thing because if you looked at the law real closely, it would made your privacy online impossible.
Yeah.
It would ban VPNs. And that would have been something bad, you know?
Yeah.
So a lot of people realized it because, let's be honest, you can't get away with anything from the people's eyes now because of the internet. A lot of people protested against the bill. And with a good thing, you know, I kind of wanted to, I was thinking, you know? But to be honest, what I'll be honest about, do you people in power think they are sneaking up to, you know, trick people into falling for, you know, being in control? You know what I mean? They think they're being sneaking up and slithering their way in, but in the end, they're really not, you know?
Yeah.
It's backfiring on them, to be honest, and people are realizing that and saying, no, 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 you know? You know what I mean? I was thinking of all my son. What heavy people. You know? It's just crazy when you just think about it. But it's just mind-boggling. But it yikes when you just think about it, you know? Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, just thinking about it, it's a yike that our generation and the next generation are going to have to be fighting against this, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of, when I was talking about last week about they are expecting more heritage unit by CXX, they really are. So, and this time they're probably going to paint the whole locomotive instead of doing a fade.
Well, I think they're going to repaint the B&O one. They just wanted to get it out.
Probably too, but if you watch the video, they did said that they were going to do a fade on it.
Oh, okay.
So the video said it was on purpose, you know, doing the fade. Oh. But you know, with all the backlash that they had on the locomotive already, they're probably going to, you know, do a full paint on it, you know.
Full paint.
Yeah, hopefully.
Full paint.
Because if you remember the first iteration of the, you know, of the Lehigh Valley Heritage Unit, you know that one?
Somewhat, yeah, I think so.
If you remember the first Lehigh Valley Heritage Unit, if you remember that, the whole front end was butchered, and a lot of rail fans got pissed off about that. And Norfolk Southern got a lot of backlash, and they repainted it, you know?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So, to be honest, this is what I'm going to be honest about. I think with the rest of the Heritage Unit, they're going to go on a full paint scheme on it, like full-on paint. And not, you know, doing a fade like they did on this Heritage Unit. So I think they're going to do that, but we can officially say that CXX have Heritage Units, you know? Also, I do want to bring it up. What do you think about 611 headed back to Roanoke, Virginia?
I wasn't really keeping track on it.
You remember it was on the Strasburg Railway in Pennsylvania? Yeah. It finally headed back to Roanoke, Virginia, and it's going to be running on its original line.
Cool.
So that's going to be...
I saw that clip where the two Amtrak trains met with the Heritage Unit and the 611 was there.
I know. I'd seen that. That looked cool.
Yeah.
Now, I am looking forward to the train running back on, with home turf, After almost 3 years, it's finally going back to the home turf.
Yeah.
Meaning it's a lot closer to me now, probably about a 10, maybe 15-hour drive from me now. Because I live in South Carolina, it would take about 15 hours to drive up there.
A lot.
And I would not mind going up there. Like, heck, if I ever get a chance, I would go up there and, try to catch it on video. Because here, Jane, the last time I seen 6011 was back in 2014, a couple months before it got restored back into running condition,
Cool.
And that was up in Spencer, North Carolina when I was 16. And I seen the tender. I literally seen them rebuilding a locomotive, which was freaking awesome. And it was for my 16th birthday, if you know what I mean. So that was crazy being up there. Heck, I still have the poster in the background in my room from Spencer, North Carolina. And it's one of all the heritage units. But yeah. Heck, I can remember, all of it. But yeah. Speaking of that, there's another team. Then what do you think about them getting that next Red and T1 up and running tune, meaning they're going to be 2?
Interesting.
Meaning we're going to have more T-Run rumbles on the Reddit and Northern. That's going to be awesome.
I wish there's already there's already New York Central Hudson's left. I'm not here to see locomotives. So I don't know.
There's one in Texas, if I'm right, that was sold to a railroad in Texas back in the 1930s and 40s.
Oh, so I'm assuming they probably don't have it.
I gotta check. I need to check later on. I'll let you know later on about that.
Yeah, because I always thought those were cool because they ran on the line near me.
Well, there are no Niagaras. Let's be honest. All the Niagaras got scrapped.
Yeah, no, most New York Central steamers got scrapped for what I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sucks.
I know, and you can blame it on that guy. Like, to be honest, that guy he was an idiot for what he did. Am I right? But it did crazy when you did think about it, Oh, speaking of that, sometime later on in a couple of weeks, or technically very soon, probably at the beginning of next month, Brightline will be operating from Miami to Orlando.
I'll have to get down there to see that.
So, we might be getting ready to see it happen.
Yeah, because I saw Brightline for the first time over spring break. I saw them in Fort Lauderdale. And
to be honest, this is what I'll be on about it that I'm looking forward. Hey, what time do y'all summer begin?
I only have like 2 weeks left of school.
Dude, the last week of school for here in the Carolina is this week before summer get out.
Well, the last teaching school day, and then I have 2 weeks of exams and stuff I need to do. Dude,
is it your last year in school or your second to last?
Third last.
Oh, you're a sophomore, am I right?
Yep.
Ah. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm going to be honest about. I'm glad I am, graduated from high school.
I can't wait. But I might probably go to college or something. Hopefully that's a bit better.
Dude, let me be honest. This is what I'll be honest. I tried don't do college, do community college. Do trade school. You know what trade school is?
Yeah, I know. Well, no, the reason I went to college just because I know a lot of people know from Penn State, so I have like vouchers. Like people can vouch for me, so I can get in there.
Oh, nice. It did that. A lot of people are thinking college is the crap, but to be honest,
it isn't unless you know it is not the crap unless you know for sure you have a job opportunity after you get out.
I know. So, what job do you want to do after college?
Well, they have a railroad program there.
Huh.
So that might be interesting.
Oh yeah. Heck.
Or if you get on like CSX or something.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, this what I'll be honest about it's going to get crazy really soon with stuff changing. Heck, with the big merger with CP and KCS, with that was big crazy for what had happened. It literally set the railroads on a game changer to get their acts together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, I think we're finally starting to hit rock bottom. We're starting to hit the rock bottom with the railroads,
We're rock bottom with everything. I hope the default does not happen.
I know. And I don't like Trump, but goddamn, stop trying to bargain it. You're really going to screw the people over because you can't get your way.
Yeah, because you don't like mean man on Twitter. Stupid.
I know. Like, literally, I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but Trump and Biden are both bad. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I was paying $3 for diesel for one guy, and I'm paying $7 for the other.
I know.
Although partially New York, if I went down to Texas, I'd probably be paying a lot less for gas, which shouldn't even be necessary, but I do like having a car.
I know. Heck, you know what odd? Like milk here in South Carolina back last year was $3.99 last year.
Yeah, gas. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say last year. Like middle of COVID, gas prices were just like cheap as hell.
I know, but let me just tell you this: guess how much milk is now in my area? Milk.
How much?
$2.99 for milk.
A gallon?
Yeah, for a milk.
That's a lot.
It was $3.99 last year. So it went down by $1. But
I'm gonna be more by me.
But to be honest, they need to stop bringing up prices, thinking, "Oh, the middle guy can keep up." No, we can't.
No.
They're only doing it on purpose, just fucking around with the middle class and the poor people, and they don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Heck, they better make it hard for the little guy instead of the big guy. Like, hell, make all the rich people pay taxes. Stop making the little guy. Am I right? Our economy would be doing way better. And to be honest, most of the rich people, they don't care about the poor people. The only one that I do think care about the poor people is Mr. Beast. Let's be honest, everybody went down on him when he helped people, with blinded. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
That was not okay for those people, shitting on him because he's doing the right thing. And to be honest, I was one of those people who got pissed off at him because he wrecked the train. But now that I think of it, those two locomotives, they were going to get scrapped anyway,
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, they're pretty sure they're going to get scrapped anyway.
So why not send them out with a bang, am I right?
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, because about a couple of months ago, I thought he would ask for that. But now that I kind of realize it, I said, oh, yeah, I was asked because the locomotive were going to get scrapped anyway because they could have rebuilt the prime movers. The prime movers and both of them were cracked and beyond repair. So they would not have been able to anyway, So it was a crazy send-off, but, it was well worth it when you watch the video. You know?
Yep.
But yeah. Now, the other thing I'm thinking about, and it was done on the Great Smoky Mountain Railroad, like the 2 locomotives that got ran that into the wall, that was on the Great Smoky Mountain. Which is cool in itself. Heck, that place they done the freaking Fugitive, a ton of stuff on that railroad, you know? Like, they did a lot on that railroad, if you know what I mean. But, yeah. Now, it's crazy. Also, what do you think of Metra right now?
What do you mean? I haven't been keeping up with them. I've been out of Chicago in a while.
Well, they got their max in.
Oh, they're mainline running now?
They are talking about getting them up and running by the end of this summer.
That'd be nice.
To be honest,
I'll probably get there sometime this summer, so I probably will see them.
To be honest, it's cool, but god damn, get new locomotive. Stop procrastinating, am I right?
Well, they just want to be cheap with maintenance, that's all.
That and also what beyond it, the city and not paying them enough money and investing in them. They're saying one more.
That's true. If they had enough money, they would probably electrify their 3 biggest lines by now.
I know, and also the other thing is that all that money going for the interstate, like saying one more rain, bro, one more rain, bro.
Yeah.
Like god damn, and the 2 people who are running are not good anyway for the city.
Yeah.
To be honest, get all that fucking old blood out of there and get the new blood in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're tired of the old...
Once the newer generation gets into power for all the transportation stuff, I'm sure more money will go to rail.
I know. Problem is that you're going to have old hacks who will put laws in, making it even harder.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we got a northbound train coming right now. And it is M492.
Nice.
Yeah, have not been technically been an hour. We already got a second train going by. We do get about 24 trains on that line, by the way.
Cool.
3, we got, and 6 of them are Amtrak. You know.
Yeah.
You want to know what train that we get on that line?
The auto train, both silver services and the Palmetto.
Yeah. Technically, we get the Palmetto, but the train after that is called the Silver Meteor.
Yeah, I said both silver services.
Mm-hmm. I remember that they discontinued it for about 2 years because of COVID.
Well, yeah, but then they just merged both trains and just called it the Silver Star.
Mm-hmm.
It had 6 sleepers on it. I remember catching it on the Northeast Corridor.
I know. Heck, it sucked not being able to catch that train. Heck.
You didn't get it?
I used to get it before they made it even harder. You know?
Hmm.
But, speaking out of DPU on this train, too, I did heard the engine, meaning it another long, chunky boy.
They're all long, chunky boys.
I know, but it did crazy when you did think about all the stuff that is going on right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, hopefully, Amtrak get all...
I'll be there in a few seconds.
Now, I'll be...
I'll be back.
All right.
Coming!
Later, Bert. All right. You heading to dinner now, man? All right, look like he going to dinner. But, yeah. I'll let Groot... Or Groot will be back in a few minutes. But, yeah, hopefully Amtrak get all its stuff ready, because that's something I'll be looking forward to when they get everything up and running, if you know what I mean. And hopefully they get more of their plans up, like they're taking the Mobile expansion in the Gulf, which hopefully that work. I mean, they'll have Amtrak service that they had not had since 2005, so that will be a big victory. So yeah, and that should be up and running by the end of the year, beginning of next year. Probably this summer, hopefully. Hopefully they get expanded down to all the way to Tallahassee and Jacksonville, because let's be honest, they get to Jacksonville, I mean, we'll be able to take a train from Charleston down to Jackson, then transfer over and head to California and all in one train. You've been able to do that. I'm not going to lie. You've been able to take a train from that. Oh, yeah. He'll be back. I'll wait until he called back. But, yeah. Oh, he called back. All right. So what your mom calling you for dinner for? Oh. Wait a few minutes. Hey, you back? Oh. And always during this time. Let's see. Oh yeah. Right, so Gordon probably doing something real quick. So let him call back in a few minutes. But hopefully, what I'll be on about. Hopefully that Amtrak get everything up and running from Mobile to, because that's something I am looking forward to. If you know what I mean. But yeah. It don't matter, man. I always catch Max. I don't always, so the Max thing don't bother me. Heck, I'll be rail fanning tomorrow anyway. Let me check the weather first. If it's not raining tomorrow, I'll be rail fanning, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let me check with the. Yeah, I still use my old phone, but that's it for catching up on YouTube and other stuff. But my new phone is what I use for rail fanning. But yeah, but check the weather first because. Alright, look like we're good. Oh yeah, we're good until tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, I am up for rail fanning tomorrow anyway. Probably tomorrow night into Wednesday that'll be raining. But yeah. I might take that survey later on because I got the brutal answer about it, because reality is that I'm going to say that books should not be banned no matter what they are. And that might say. But yeah, but if you guys wondering what that email what that was, surveys. If y'all know what I mean. I'll let Gord do his stuff real quick and eat dinner, but to be honest, it is a crazy time right now for railroads. That I'm not gonna lie. in a crazy time for the railroading right now, and I think that it's a crazy in itself. But yeah, but it's a crazy, if you know what I mean. Let me check this, but not the calendar. But to be honest, some of the crazy stuff that are happening right now at the bunkers, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Someone caught D20. I'm at 21D. If y'all don't know what 21D is, it's the intermodal train. The intermodal train. One minute. Live stream. But it's crazy when you did think about it. That's funny. It's something funny. But it's crazy to think about it. Quarterback. All right. So welcome back, man.
I'm working right now.
So what were your parents calling you for dinner for?
Oh, I've had dinner.
Oh. So what did they need?
My mom made dinner, so she wanted me to come have some.
All right. So what was the dinner that they made?
It was Italian.
Oh, what type of Italian food?
It was like spaghetti and meatballs and like some other dish I forgot what it was called.
Hey, have you ever had Filipino food before?
Yeah. Maybe. I know I've had Thai food, I've had Chinese, Korean, Japanese. I'm not sure about Filipino food.
Have you what? Have you ever heard a double?
A what?
A double.
No.
It's a Filipino dish. Val, you want to tell them what it is?
You're doing it right. You're saying it right.
All right, it's rye, teriyaki chicken, and what are the other ingredients?
Basil leaves.
Basil leaves.
Teriyaki sauce.
Teriyaki sauce. It's pretty good. And have you ever had not a lumpia, but what was that thing I had called again, Val? Was it pancit?
Yeah.
At MSC?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of pancit?
No.
It's another Filipino dish. What about a lumpia?
No, I don't think I've had Filipino food.
Dude, you gotta try Filipino food. It's good. Heck, first time I tried Filipino food, when my wife made it, I was hooked on it. But yeah. Oh, speaking of that, the train that went by had a Mac on it.
Nice.
But, Macs are so common on the area of the line. I'm just used to it. The thing that I like catching is 4-axle power. That is the rarity on this line. And I'm not talking about Amtrak. I'm talking about 4-axle freight locomotives. It's mostly 6-axle that we get on that line if you don't count Amtrak.
Yeah, no, I rarely ever get Jeeps.
Oh, you too? So it's a rarity on your line?
No, every single train has Jeevos.
Oh.
Not even Dash 9s, it's literally just ES44s.
Oh, God, I couldn't stand that,
Although one time I got a UP Mac, that was cool. With a UP Jevo behind it, because all we get is Jevos.
To be honest, I cannot stand all we get in Macs. Heck, to be honest, it's always good catching some of that and not a Mac all the time.
Oh, you get Max a lot?
Yeah, we get Mac and Jeebos.
You'll need to send the Max up here. I never see any.
Heck, well, I caught.
Like you get them, they're trailing.
Heck, yesterday, the last train I caught before sunset had Max, had 4-axle power or Jeeps. It even had, AC Jeebo. It had 3 different type of locomotives on it. So that was a good catch. Heck, being that they're probably bringing back the Tropicana Juice train.
That'd be cool.
I'm not sure yet, but I'm hearing because they're trying to put all the Tropicana Juice cars back on IO32 and IO31, or the intermodal train. That means eventually they're going to put them back on their own train again,
Cool.
And to be honest, there are more Tropicana Juice car on them train now than there used to be. So those trains are getting longer again.
It's become cheaper now up here because it's really expensive.
I know.
It's probably all shipped by truck.
To be honest, I think they're going to ship most of the produce by train again from Miami all the way up there again,
Hopefully.
Because I do not support putting everything on damn trucks.
I think we should take advantage of our huge-ass rail system more, because what is it, only like 20% of freight's transported by train?
I know, 20%.
We have the most track by mile in the world, and we don't even use its fullest capability.
And you're saying that number is slowly going down because we just want to, abandon it, turn it into a trail. Even then,
though, still, I'll be like sitting, I'll be waiting for a train to come on the river line, and I won't see one for like 8 hours at a time. It could be because the track's broken because we don't take care of it either.
That too, plus we don't run that many trains anymore. We did want to put them on.
We run really big ones.
And that's a problem in itself,
Yeah, because it's not as easy to look over them, take care of them.
And Alan, if you remember, Alan Fisher did a video talking about that. You remember?
No, I don't.
All right, Alan Fisher talked about the problem with PSR and Pacific and Castle Railroad and all the railroad strike. He also brought up the problem with longer trains.
Yeah.
My point is that you can't keep on putting everything on truck. You can't keep on making train longer and longer. What we need to do is add more train to the variety, Am I right?
Yep.
And that I'm not going to lie about. And that's the problem, Like, we rely too much on the road system, And funny thing is that everybody thinks...
If we got trucks off the road, it's more room for people to drive and stuff who want to drive, who don't want to take the train.
I know, and also the people who do not want to drive, add more passenger rail and variety. Give them more options.
The only problem with that would be is less people have jobs, but all the truckers can go work for the railways if they want.
To be honest, we do need commuter rail. There are a lot of disabled people who can't drive, people who cannot drive. There are a lot of people out there when you need to think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I'll be honest about. You're segregating people who can't drive, who mentally and are unfit to drive, to freaking either walk in for 4 hours to a place, or happen to wait an hour for a bus, or happen to hitch an Uber or hitch a ride into town if there's no transit out there, Am I right?
Right.
And that a problem in itself,
Yep.
And we keep on procrastinating. Am I right?
Yeah.
And that is sad reality that we do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Heck, I have a driver permit, but I'm actually going to try to work on getting my driver license, even though I don't like to drive. Because
I love it. It's just so relaxing. In my opinion, until you have to do like a drunk driver or something, that is not relaxing.
But let me tell you too, we only get one bus in the morning where we live and one in the afternoon.
Yeah, my area is similar public bus trends like that. Like we get one every like 2 hours. Like what's the point?
I know. And saying it, they did start only bringing buses around only about 3 to 4 years ago. It's still new. Heck, you don't even know where the bus stop is because there are no bus signs, you know?
Yeah, you just have to like figure it out on your own. It kind of sucks.
I know, and that's just stupid because, you know, it could be a lot more regional, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But am I right?
Sure.
And that's something that I really am thinking about, you know? But am I right?
Yeah.
But also here the other thing, and what I'll be on it about, the problem is that we keep on screwing it up for people, you know?
Yeah.
We build everything for the car and not for the people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that is sad reality, and I mean sad. And it's not okay, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous. Like, come the F on, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a sad reality, and that I really do mean. Because we could be doing way better, but we decide not to, if you know. But yeah. And we keep on screwing everything up. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Because we're going to keep on getting rid of our our train system and building more and more road. We're eventually going to start falling apart. And I'm talking about very badly, you know? And when that happens, it's not going to be a pretty time. That I can guarantee. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So, being that, have you caught anything interesting recently?
I haven't been out as much, but again, the YouTube video, I got the Beach Grove and the Corridor Clipper on the same train, which are like Amtrak office / inspection cars.
Oh, nice.
And then a few weeks ago, I got the Corridor Clipper, but Metro North released that new Heritage wrap. I haven't been out yet to see it.
Oh, that would be cool to catch.
It's painted like the old FL9s, but they're too cheap to paint it, so they just wrapped it. But then again, the dual mode chargers are coming into service in like 2 years.
I know.
So I can see why they didn't want to put a brand new coat of paint on if they're getting retired soon.
To be honest, I think they might not be getting scrapped. They might be sold off to another railroad, you know?
Well, I don't think you would use them because their main reason is they have third rail, but their prime. Actually, you know what? That's a really good point. Because their prime movers only have 3,200 horsepower. They don't use nearly as much gas or fuel.
I know. The railroad that
Yes, I can see why that would actually be appealing to like short lines because it's 4 less cylinders they're burning fuel with.
And I know, and
they don't need the whole 4,200 horsepower. They're running like 60 miles an hour at most, so they don't need to have all that horsepower.
Mm-hmm. Also,
actually, and they're not like insanely high mileage because they only operate like the New York like commuter. What's it called?
I can't remember.
The area around the New York metro area. Sorry, I had a brain fart.
Heck, the other railroad that I think might try to buy them is the Long Island Railroad. You know.
No, they're getting chargers too. They're retiring the DM30s.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, Amtrak, Metro North, and Long Island Railroad made like a joint order to Siemens for the dual mode chargers.
So that
And then Amtrak backed out of it in like favor of the Arrow things, but there's still gonna be dual mode chargers on the front with the third rail.
I know, but that's it crazy that we're going to have 3 railroads using the same type of locomotive in the next 2 years. Am I right?
Well, Amtraks are coming much later though. I'll still see a lot of Amtraks. Amtrak might honestly like lease some of the P32s for more service until the charter sets come in.
To be honest, I think they might not get rid of the ones right there, like the dual mode one. I think, like, they might not get rid of them yet.
Well, yeah, I think one of them got a new prime mover in it.
Yeah, I think what Amtrak going to do with the dual modes, I think they're going to. You might think I'm crazy with it, but I think they're going to try to expand Dan Sherbet and add new routes up there because that could be a possibility.
Yeah, well, I think they'll just order new Arrow trains at that point because there's no expanding the third rail territory. Although the new engines have like, so the reason they're a little like, I won't say controversial, but like they don't take full advantage of the third rail. They can only run on third rail. They can't go over, I think, 60 with the third rail on, and there's no dynamic braking, so it's not very easy to use them when they're on third rail. So they try to use the third rail as least as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So they only use them in the tunnels. The Chargers are going to be able to fully run off the third rail, dynamic braking and everything, and they can reach full 80 mile an hour, whatever the hell speed they need to reach with the third rail. So they'll be all 3 railroads will be taking full advantage of the third rail territory.
So, and let not forget that the only area in the United States with third rail.
No, yeah, it's very unique because only New York has it, and like Southern Britain has like mainline trains that use third rail. Everywhere else around the world uses catenary.
Yeah, and let not forget that subways are one that we see using third rail.
Using third rail, yeah, it's very strange to see them on normal sized trains that are going 80 miles an hour.
I know, but it is pretty cool.
They use accelerate really well. Like I was on an M7, we got up to 80 in probably a minute.
I know, and
probably less than a minute. We departed that station that they accelerate so fast.
To be honest, a lot of people are going to have mixed opinion on the new locomotive. Like there are people who don't like them, but
no, I'm not a huge fan of them either. I'm hoping they figure out their reliability issues because adding the third rail chute in the motor to the equation is going to make them even more technologically
difficult
to work for. Yeah, they're going to be even harder to work on because that was a big problem with the P32s. The third rail when they first came out, it was super unreliable. They figured it out, thankfully.
Well, I know for a fact that they already are getting some of the problem with the new locomotive nipped in the butt.
The what?
You know, the problem in the cold weather, they're finally getting that nipped in the butt.
Yeah, I know. So hopefully the reliability fixes. Yeah, I'm hoping some short lines in New York buy the P32 because I'm be sad to see those go. Those are like my chops.
More likely with how everything is going with passenger rail starting to pop right back up, we're going to see a lot of freight railroad try to bring back passenger rail service.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no. Again, I would see why the P32 is really attractive short lines because they use less fuel than the P42s.
Mm-hmm. Well.
The only problem is they weigh more.
Now you might think I'm crazy for it, but I think the Alaska Railroad up in Alaska, they might try to buy some of Amtrak old P42s.
The only problem with that would be they don't have any current GE equipment, so they don't have any parts for it. Most like the P42 uses the same parts as like the Dash 8 and Dash 9. So I feel like any railroad with like current GE locomotives, maybe even old U-boats would like.
The Alaska Railroad do have a lot of that stuff.
When I was up there, all I saw was EMDs.
Oh no, they have Max up there too. They have all of it.
Max are EMDs.
I know. They also got Jibos.
Jibos.
No, they don't.
Jibos.
They did.
I swear to God they only have EMDs. I'll look it up. I'll look up the roster.
All right. Check the Roger because it's been a while since I looked up Alaska Railroad stuff, you know? It's been a while.
Yeah, they got mechs, they got GP40s, GP38s, F40s. They have RDCs.
Mm-hmm.
And they have they have a DMU. They retired the F7s and MP15s. They also retired the RDC, but I saw one of those up there. Yeah, they don't have any GE stuff.
What about the SW1500 and the MP that they have? Because they do got some switchers.
No, they retired those.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking.
So they don't have any switcher locomotives in Alaska anymore. Damn.
Well, yeah, they just used the GP38s and GP40s. I'm assuming.
That's
because when I went on Alaska Railroad, we had an SD70 leading, and we had a GP. I think we either had an F40 or a GP40 in trail.
I'm not gonna lie, that's stupid because they're putting themselves up for failure with that. You know.
Well, it's not that necessary because usually they don't really take apart their trains. Because they don't their oil trains. They have one assignment. Like all their trains have singular assignments. So they don't usually pull the trains apart and start switching them around. It was not very necessary.
I know they don't start doing that up until they get up to Fairbanks and Anchorage.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the big businesses are at that are served by rail.
Well, that's a good corridor. I wish the whole thing wasn't single track. They could run more passenger stuff.
I know. Now, they are talking about finally building that track down into Canada because that does need to happen, you know?
Amtrak service to Anchorage would go insane.
Oh, you know that would be a popular passenger service. Heck, they're already talking about, building a track to, the Yukon from Alaska and then from another area in Canada to the Yukon,
Mm-hmm.
They're going to try to have their meetup point in the Yukon Basin somewhere.
That's cool.
Heck, that would bring in a lot of business because there are a lot of resources in that area too,
And you remember that story with that silly little railroad that put stuff on so they could use foreign boats? That would take that completely out of the equation, so there would be much more freight on rail than boat.
I know, but that would kill off that one small town.
No. They already closed the railroad. There was an article I saw on it. They closed it down.
No, I'm talking about the railroad that the Alaska Railroad still get freight from the lower 48. It still does.
Yeah, I know. It just shipped it on boat.
I know.
I was saying it'd be easier because taking the boats out of the equation, Alaska Railroad would do much more business.
I know, but it will have 2 extra ways of getting them out because I know the Alaska Railroad for sure they won't.
No, I think they'd retire the boat completely if they built that because the boat takes forever. It's such a complicated process because you have to wait for the tide to be at the right height. You can only put so many rail cars on the boat. It's just so complicated. It would be so much easier if they just built the railway.
True, but also it would kill off that town.
What town?
I can't.
Seward. Yeah, I went there. No, because they still get train service there. That's where I took Alaska Road. I didn't go up to Fairbanks.
I'm talking about one where you got to go through that where the road and tracks go through that one tunnel together.
Yeah, I know. I went through that. Oh, well, I didn't go through that on train. I went through that on car, but I took the train on a different route.
To be honest, it would kill off the town that it in,
No, I went up there. That town was really popular. There's a lot of people driving through that tunnel. And again, there's still passenger train service there.
Because that's where they get the barges in,
Yeah.
Now,
I don't think it would kill it. That was a pretty big town when I was up there. There was a bunch of restaurants and stuff, and there's still ports, so stuff's still going to come in on boat. Instead of the train cars coming on boat, the loads will come in and they'll put them on train cars.
yeah, good point. It can change the whole thing and turn that into like a shipping port.
No, it is a shipping port. It's just the train goes in there too. It's like an added thing there.
You know what crazy during World War II? They did not wanted to in case the main area got bombed by the Japanese, they actually built that town on purpose in the mountain and built the port. That way, the Japanese would not have been able to bomb it. You know?
Yeah.
Heck, and everybody keep on forgetting that there was one area of U.S. territory that had a battle on it during World War II, and that was Aleutian Islands in Alaska. The only area that was sought for during World War II, you know?
Yeah.
Most people don't know about that. It's crazy. But yeah. But, you know, if they do get that connection from Alaska through Canada down to the lower 48 done, that would be a big economy boost, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That would bring in...
That would increase a lot of trade between the U.S. and Canada, too. That would be good for that.
True. Plus, it would make it easier because if they decided to build that deep sea port in Anchorage, because they're talking about building a deep sea port in Anchorage, it'll make the maritime travel by container ship way shorter.
Mm-hmm.
And that means instead of ship going into LA or, you know, San Diego ports, they'll be going to Alaska instead, you know?
And they probably won't need as big of boats because they can just increase the number of smaller boats and ship them over to Russia or something, as long as we're still not beefing with them at that point.
To be honest, we might be.
But even then, South Korea and Japan aren't that far.
True. But it will be a big boost to the U.S. economy.
Yeah. It would also probably decrease cargo flights from, like, the mainland USA to Anchorage. Because when I was up there, there's planes coming in every, 5 minutes.
I know. And that's something that the airlines are scared of, or like the big air company that do cargo.
Well, yeah, like UPS and stuff. Also, small pet peeve I'm going to over right now. Novtel really needs to work on the catenary, because I just stopped at the station. I'm driving a German electric train right now, and there's no catenary.
Oof!
I'm going though, don't worry. My train is being powered off of magical air, I guess.
Is that on the new route or that old route?
Bremen, Oldenburg.
The old route, am I right?
Yeah, it came out early this year.
Jeez. You know.
Not every single electric route that was missing catenary in some areas.
You know they're getting sloppy and just trying to pump that much routes out. You know, they're trying to milk the game.
Yeah, no. I just, the one, Dovetail Germany, or no, Train Sim Germany, Train Sim Germany, they are my favorite route maker because they just put so much detail in everything, and everything they make look so good and functions properly. Mm-hmm. Like, the Nettertalbahn they came out with?
Yes.
As much as I hate driving, slow trains, the route is so beautiful to look at.
You know,
so detailed.
I'm going to ask you, what is the word Train Sim group out there that build routes for Train Sim World?
Oh, the maker?
Yeah.
Probably Dovetail themselves.
I'm not you could say
all the third-party companies are passionate about it. I would say that they take pride in what they make, and then Dovetail are just all right, screw you guys, buy my $40 route add-on.
I know. You know, crazy is they're getting bought out by Saber Interactive. You know.
I'm hoping they are a bit better, although I'm pretty sure the team from Dovetail can stay the same.
More than likely going to stay the same, but here it's saying to improve the game, my bet is if they're going to improve the game, they're probably going to, and you might think I'm crazy for it, but add a route builder, you know?
I'd love to see that because some people have a ton of time on their hands and they can make some good work.
My point is that I think Dovetail, now that they're owned by Saber Interactive, instead of doing the stuff when they were their own company, I think what they're going to do, and you might think I'm crazy for it, or you might agree with me, is that I think they're going to bring a route builder because, let's be honest, you know the game SnowRunner?
Yeah.
They got a map builder in that game, you remember?
Yeah, I'm hoping they add that, and I hope they add a consist editor, so that way if you're doing custom routes, you can make your own consist. Because like I would love to like put an F40 with some like AM fleets, and just have like a 1980s style Amtrak train.
I know. The thing that I think is going to happen, I think now that Saber interacts with it, because how they did with SnowRunner, I think they're going to do the same treatment with Train Sim World.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to add a route builder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they do, we're going to be seeing a whole bunch of new routes, even fake one, real ones.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping they add it with like a multiple person function, so that way whole teams of people can work on a route.
I know.
That would pump better routes out faster because more people would like see it, notice problems. More people have input. Like I'm hoping you could like share files and stuff.
I know.
People.
Here, Jane, Train Simor. I mean, Train with a Z does
Classic.
it.
Oh.
Like
Classic had a route builder. It wasn't very good though.
I know. Now, Train with a Z. Train with a Z.
Yeah, I had it on my phone.
The new one. With that being on the phone, they're talking about adding route builder to Train Driver Drury.
Yeah, because I had 2 for the longest time, but 3 just looks so much better. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't have the route builder.
And here, I know they're going to add route builder in Train Simulator. Train Driver Drury eventually.
Yeah, because I really like that game. It won't work with my new phone. I got my new phone recently. It won't work on my old phone.
Thing is, we know it's coming because it took almost a year to 2 years before it came to Train Driver 2. You remember?
That was such a long time ago. I don't remember.
All right, when Train Driver 2 came out, exactly when it first came out, they did not have any, like route builder with it. It took 2 to 3 years before it came out for that.
Yeah.
And it could probably take that long. Who knows? We could be probably seeing the route builder coming in this year,
Hopefully.
Now, Train Z have a lead over Train Sim World with that because you get to build whatever you want. And Train Z 2022, like, the R1 for the PC, they have a head start too,
Mm-hmm.
To be on it, I'm going to be on it. If Train Z come to Xbox and PlayStation, I'm not trying to be mean about it, but Train Sim World is done.
Still probably play Train Sim World for like the realism aspect, but yeah, definitely if I just wanted to make my own route or something or like just goof off, I would definitely want to play the trains.
Yeah, and Jane, is it that Train with a Z is getting more and more realistic every year?
Yeah.
So eventually, Train with a Z is going to catch up with Train Sim World, and eventually Train Sim World.
They all better step up their game if they want to have a chance that happens.
They think.
I'm sorry. When the game first came out, it was really impressive. Like, it's this brand new thing, but it's been pretty much the same thing for the past 6 years.
Agreed.
I cannot believe it's been 6 years. It's closer to 5.
It's 6 years. It came out around 2017, 2018.
Yeah, it was like late 2017.
Yeah,
sure.
I was right there in my last year of high school when I started seeing the trailers for Train Sim World.
No, because like every now, so I used to like play like Roblox Train Simulator religiously on my Xbox because there was no actual train simulators on Xbox. Like the next closest thing was like like Roblox, or that was like some like stupid game with like it was like Red Dead 2 to train in it, but it's like
old fashioned train.
One day I was looking stuff up, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, what the hell's Train Sim World? I saw it was made by Dovetail. I'm like, oh my god, I play Train Sim Classic on my old computer, so I had to get it.
Mm-hmm. And
so I hopped in. Well, all right, I exaggerated a little bit there. A lot has changed. Obviously, they've improved the weather and the original Train Sim, like Train Sim World 1. The cameras, there was no free roam camera. It was really buggy. Which still happens today, but not as much.
I know, and you got a free roam camera with Train Sim World 3 now.
Yeah.
But here, Dane, like, eventually their lead is slowly deteriorating because if you think about Train Sim World on the phone, or not Train Sim World on the phone, but Train with a Z on the phone, eventually they're going to try to port that over to Xbox. I do see that happening. I do see them eventually putting a train with a Z on Xbox eventually, and when that happens, Dubcell gonna be screwed.
I just wish they added like the computer style version of the games on Xbox. Like my least favorite like crossover is Transport Fever 2 because the maps are so small. You can't add anything to the game.
Well, here, Jane, because you're still using Xbox One, am I right?
No, I have that Series X.
Oh wow, that's surprising because
it runs better than my old computer. I don't see a reason why they couldn't have put the full game on Xbox.
Probably because probably trying to put it behind payware and all that.
Yeah.
Probably a dirty little tactic.
White onions.
I'm hoping they update Transport Fever soon because it hasn't gotten an update since it came out.
You guys talking about stuff, and I talk about onions.
Oh yeah, sorry, Val, it interrupted, but to be honest, Val, don't try tickling me, but Gord, did what I'll be honest about with how Xbox and PlayStation are with memory now. You can definitely do a train with a Z on there now,
Well, yeah, because I remember when the Series X was first in the works, they said you were gonna be able to have like Steam games on there and stuff, like not like Steam trade games, like I meant like from the Steam store, and then they never implemented it.
I know, but here, James, if they do add Train with a Z to Xbox, you and me know if they do add that Train Sim World, it flopped.
Yeah, they really need to like start like improving the game.
Because
and just like there's always people just bitch moaning and complaining in the forums, and they do nothing.
I know, and Jane is that at the beginning they cared about the game, but now not so much.
Yeah, no, I remember it was everyone's like favorite train game when it came out, especially like during Train Sim World 2. Everyone was happy, and then as soon as Sim World 3 hit, everyone like they started getting lazy. The community started getting more pissed off
because
they stopped being passionate about it and they started looking for money.
I know, and that saying like if they don't quit, they're going to lose a lot of potential buyers.
I stopped playing War Thunder because they don't listen to the community. The repair costs are insanely high. The game's broken, and they refuse to listen. They just want money. And in the same situation, War Thunder used to be the creators of the game used to be really passionate about it. They listen to the community about everything. Now they don't. And honestly, now that I think about it, that's most video games.
That video games now, if you go back almost about a decade or so ago, before GTA 5, everybody, you've been happy, like gaming, you've been good,
Well, I mean, there's also a point that people have been getting more needy.
True.
Like, that's a point, but, like, still, the developers should listen to the community because they're literally the reason they're making a living wage is your community.
Well, saying is that now that Saber Interactive own the company, hopefully they can save it,
Yeah, because I noticed they were really like passionate about their games. I didn't play Snow Runner, I played Mud Runner.
Heck,
which is like an older version.
I played Mud Runner and Snow Runner. I only played both.
Like, I was getting get Snow Runner, but it was like pretty expensive of a story.
I know. And crazy thing is, if you remember back in the day, like before Mud Runner came out, at like the original spin tires is what it was called. When it came out for PC, everybody thought it was not going to last long until, and then they started with Mud Runner. With Mud Runner, but not owned by Saber, or technically yet it was owned by Saber Interactive.
But they made that game pretty good. They had a lot of trucks in that game. It was you make like maps and stuff. Like It was a really good game from what I remember. I haven't played it in a long time.
I know, but here, Zane, when Spin Tire came out, it was owned by a different company, and Zane is that they did not did good at the game, and the game was about to go under. But when Saber Interactive came in and bought it, they literally saved the franchise. You know?
Yeah.
Literally, did think about it. Saber Interactive saved the game, even though it had a good modding community. They did not pump out that many mods lately, but
I hate that some game developers just rely on modders to make their game good. I mean, Train to the Z, someone has that problem with the size of the community, the creativity, that'd be hard not to. But simple games where the devs could clearly make the game better, but you need mods necessary to play good. That ain't right.
Heck, that too now.
Then you're just having people work for you for free, so you get money. That's awful.
I know. Now, let not forget what happened to you. Remember 5M from GTA 5?
What?
Do you remember 5M?
No.
Dude, you do not know what 5M is?
No.
It was a mod for GTA 5 for role playing.
I've always played on Xbox.
The thing is that 5M was to make it where we were able on old game to play multiplayer on old GTA games. Also, you've been able to do a lot, and I mean a lot with 5M. You're still able to, but Rockstar tried to go after the people who made it and tried to get them to take the mod down, but the whole community went uproar and boycotted GTA. They had to back off because their stock plummeted because of them going after that mod.
Yeah.
One thing I learned, you don't go after a mod if it make your game better. Am I right?
Yeah, it's shooting yourself in the foot, basically.
Heck, and it did crazy when you did think about it. But my point is that if you go after the people who make your game better, well, come on.
Sorry.
Oop.
Phone. Charge. Okay.
But Gord, I'll be on it. If you
Sorry.
go, Val, come on, let me speak.
Hey, Gord.
Oh, Val said, "Hey."
Hey, Gord. Hey, Gord.
Hello.
But let me be honest, if you go after the people who make mods that make your game even better and fix some problem, and, instead of trying to have them fix your game for you, and instead, make everybody say, hey, buy it for $1.99 and make them pay for payware, then you're shooting yourself in the foot and telling that you don't care about community, you just care about money. Am I right? And that thing, some companies don't think about that. Now, with Saber Interactive, they gave you two options. If you want to mod your game, you can. But if you want to buy, the DLC, you're able to. You got multiple options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something that, the big, corporation don't realize. Saber Interactive is taking good notes, Yeah. Am I right? But it did crazy when you did think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But being at the availability about to finally come into service this year.
What was supposed to come to service?
The new Amtrak bullet train or the availability?
I'm hoping. I've seen them. I haven't seen them moving.
Dude, they already got another 6 more pairs ready.
I've yet to see delivery. When they get delivered, they come right by me. But they always come late at night. They'll come at 9 o'clock at night, so it's hard to see them sometimes.
They're probably coming at night. That's probably the reason why,
Yeah, no, they always follow the Maple Leaf, which is the last train to leave Niagara Falls. Well, leave Toronto. The last train to leave Niagara Falls today. So after that goes past, they just follow it.
Being that, So how many trains run on the line that the Maple Leaf run on?
Here, let me check. Because as much as
Sorry, guys.
the Surf Line
Sorry.
corridor may be the busiest, but I think the corridor I live on has the second most trains next to the Northeast corridor.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Let me check Albany for today. Which not all the trains are in Yellow. That's going to Chicago. That's going to Niagara Falls. That's going to New York. That's not the last one. Okay, here. During Albany. All right, so yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 20. I have 28 trains a day by me. Maybe more. I don't know if all the ones showed up here.
Are they half of them freight trains or passenger trains?
No, just Amtrak. I also have Metro North going by me.
Dang, that a lot of passenger trains. What about freight
Yeah.
trains?
I think only 2 go by me, and they run in the middle of the night since the lines are really busy during the daytime. It's like the Northeast corridor. They only run freight trains at night on the Northeast corridor usually.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get lucky, one comes by in the daytime.
True. Now, thing that I think is crazy that I'm just saying, like, I know the 2 trains are to local, not manifest. Am I right?
They are. They work. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they're manifest, but they mainly do garbage. But they do service a lot of industries down the Hudson River on the east side.
So they are local trains, you know?
Yeah, I think so. The 2, I think one specifically does garbage, and then the other one takes whatever excess garbage cars the first one could take. As I'm pretty sure there's like a limit on how long the train could be for like signaling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's pretty sure it's either 1 or 2 bidirectional.
That would make 4 freight trains if you did think about it, you know?
Yeah, so plus Amtrak, that's 32 trains, and I don't even know how. I don't feel like counting how many Metro trains come by. There's a lot. There's service. Rush hour, I believe, is every 20 minutes, and non-rush hour, it's every 50 minutes.
Hey, well, that's still pretty good, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure the Hudson Line's the second busiest passenger line in America. It has to be.
That would be... you're probably right. We can check later on, but...
The Keystone should be busier, but the state doesn't want to pay for it, so they only run trains during rush hour. Except in Pennsylvania, and that one runs in the middle of the day, but that's a state train. But like that's like an Amtrak train, like not state. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Saying is, I know the line right there that connect you, you know, have, you know, a couple of local trains and a couple of manifests. But the freight train that come through on the not Pittsburgh line, but the line going through Pennsylvania that go right past the interchange with the Strasburg. I know.
The Keystone line. I'm sorry, you cut out before. I didn't hear a lot of stuff.
The Keystone line, they do get a couple of freight trains, but most of them come through at night. You know.
Yeah. That's what the main thing up in the Northeast. All the busy commuter lines only get freight service at night, and that's when it's like good. No, because even during the daytime, it's double tracked all the way down. Well, actually, it's quad tracked south of Croton. It still gets clogged up.
I know.
It's partially Metro North's fault because they like to run the Metro North trains at the exact time as the Amtrak trains. And if the Amtrak trains are even a minute late in either stop, they'll put a local Metro North in front of it.
I know. You know, Metro North are kind of entitled for that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, they own the track, but yes, I agree.
Heck, not even the freight railroads are everybody thinks the freight railroads are a-hole to Amtrak, but also the commuter rail.
They're a little bit late, though. We'll have a problem.
Mm-hmm. What my point is that I'm going to bring it up. We got a top treating rail like second class because we treat it like second class when it had been first class. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that is sad reality if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But what do you think about them? Finally starting to get stuff done in California with rail.
Yeah, no, they've been making some really good progress. I'm surprised people haven't been pointing that out more. They've been doing pretty much nothing besides building bridges for the past decade. Now they're putting roadbed down. They're almost ready to put tracks down on some parts of it. I think that's really good.
I know, and
I like their approach on it. I agree that it shouldn't be last priority, but they should do it last for cost reasons.
I know. Here, Jane. I know once they get the Valley done, they're going to go to San Francisco next.
No, well, yeah, I find that good because they're going to start in San Francisco. It's a really big metro area, and they're going to go into all the other cities like Fresno, which have 4 million population. So they'll probably make a profit off of that. I mean, okay, I wouldn't say profit. It's going to take them a really long time to
I know.
Net positive, I guess, because that's freaking expensive. But trains should be operating at a positive.
And here, Jane, did what happened to the high-speed railroad in Japan when they built it out for you? Remember?
Yeah, it was expensive as hell, and they're really similar because they're both built on tectonically active areas, so there's be earthquakes and stuff.
And also mountainous.
And California is super strict on environmental stuff, so you have to be careful of that. That makes a lot of cost to it.
A lot of people are pissed with California right now too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about with the initial thing for railroading?
I wish, okay, that's controversial because I somewhat agree with it, but they're really screwing over short lines with that.
I know. Jane did that thing.
I feel bad for the smaller companies because they can't afford brand new ET-44 Jibo locomotives. They're millions of dollars. They probably make $1 million a year.
Now here, Jane, instead, do a program not to get rid of their locomotive, but add a cleaner prime mover. It is possible to put a different prime mover in the locomotives. It's possible, though. Don't need to scrap them. Don't need to get rid of them. Put a different prime mover in. Am I right?
Well, yeah, but you also have to change out the electric motor. You have to do a bunch of electronic stuff. It's really expensive to convert really old locomotives to Tier 4 standings.
Heck, what hope that don't...
Tier 4. Tier 3 would have been somewhat reasonable. They said Tier 4. I mean, most of the Class 1s don't have that. They'll have to keep all the Tier... Union Pacific and BNSF will have to keep all their Tier 4 locomotives in California because they don't have that much of them.
I think the real reason to pass is that I think the trucking company had something to do with it because they were getting pissed because
they already had their share of it. So we'll be fair, the freight railroads have to do it too.
I know, but they don't have as long at trucking company. 10 years for trucking company, but 2 years. It's only 2 years for the railroad.
2 years for what?
To get
2 years in advance. You're saying?
Yes.
Okay, I was confused. All right. Yeah, I agree with that. That's messed up.
That's not enough right there. I think
okay. My hot take on it is it could be a good thing because then Union Pacific and BNSF might finally decide to electrify. That would probably be the only upside of it is they might just decide, you know what, fine, we'll do it. They'll finally break into it. They'll decide to electrify.
The other thing is that a lot of historic little tour railroads I'm a little bit concerned with too,
Well, yeah, there's a lot of those in California, which I don't know what they're going to do. They're screwed at that plan. They should have stated that it was only required for Class 2 and Class 1 railways.
That's probably what it's going to happen, Probably going to be like that.
Yeah, because there's no way some little short line can afford a brand new Tier 4 locomotive. And they can't even afford to replace the prime mover, the older ones.
Mm-hmm.
They said Tier 4 and built past, I think it was 2002 or something.
Yes.
So that's a problem with the replacing older locomotives. Because if you can't, some cannot be converted to Tier 4. It's not possible.
Yeah, and...
It will cost way... Okay, well, it is possible. It will cost way more money than just buying a brand new locomotive. Okay, I'm getting on the station really fast. I'm doing 90.
Oof.
Okay, I just came into a station. I didn't know how to stop at doing about 90 an hour.
Oh! That a oof.
I just overshot the station at 60.
Oh!
I'm
Dang.
used to driving freight trains. I hop into one passenger service. I'm already messing it up.
That gotta suck, man. But to be honest, I'm worried about the I know California don't have Alco anymore. There are no railroads that operate Alcos in California.
No, I know some states will never turn that. I know New York will probably do it second, but we're getting the brand new chargers, so that will probably be good here. Again, there's a lot of short lines here that's going to suffer from that. That have Alcos, that have old boats.
Like in Pennsylvania, let's not forget that one railroad that is all Alco bait in. Now, yeah. There is one railroad in San Francisco that uses an Alco, but it don't use diesel. It an Alco RS. It an Alco RS2, and it is switcher, and it in the Bay Area. It a Class 3 short line, and it operates in the Bay, and it does weight material handling. And that locomotive run on vegetable oil, and it Alco. I remember that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the vegetable oil is tier 3, right? For most locomotives use it, or tier 4.
Tier 4.
No, you know what I'm hoping, speaking of Caltrain, I'm hoping BNSF gives them the freight business they do there, so that way they'll use the AEM 7s for free use. Because they got 2, they could order more.
I know.
That would be neat, because that would give the AEM 7s a brand new job, which is nice. Because I mean, they're old, but they're super reliable.
Yeah, and they can haul freight too. Like they have done it before on Amtrak.
Yeah, SEPTA was using them to haul the track cleaning ground for freight cars.
I know, and the thing is that I'll be honest, it is possible, and you can convert an Alco to, vegetable oil.
Mm-hmm.
And here at Francis, I was talking to a friend, and he did the research when they, converted that Alco into, vegetable oil burning. It was easy. He said the Alcos are probably going to be the best candidate to turn into, into tier 4 locomotive when it comes to vegetable oil.
Yeah.
So he said that they would be some of the most.
Hoping they don't start doing all that battery shit, because that will never work. I mean, okay, I like the idea that Wabtec had. They'll put it on the really long freight trains to for dynamic braking, like for example Cajon Pass. Like that engine would be extremely useful on Cajon Pass.
Oh yeah.
Because they can charge up all that energy going down and use it going back up.
Here's something I'll be on it about like battery power would be good for short line and yard switching, but mainline long distance you're going to have a ton of infrastructure for that.
Well, no. Again, I like my example. Use not helper service. Again, like horseshoe curve would be good for that. Use the battery going up, charge it going down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like that. I really like that idea because they'll have locomotives, so it will charge from its own 6-axle and then charge from the locomotives that are attached to it.
I know, and that would work.
Let's say you have a quadruple header. That thing is going to charge up instantly because that's what 5 times 6. That's 30 motors charging that battery.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And then again, use it going up. Use all that power just going back up the hill.
Do you know there's another railroad I did shot that would be very good for Train Sim World now? Do you know what it is?
No.
The Arkansas Missouri Railroad. Because they use Alcos and Max.
Cool.
Like, there is...
I want them to add Max to the game as a DLC because they added Dash 8s.
I know. But it would be pretty cool,
Yeah.
Like, heck, if they get the right to the Arkansas Missouri, thing for a Train Sim World route, I bet you're behind. They'll do every locomotive on that route because they got Alcos, they got FD70s, they got Alco switchers, the Alco RS2, RS3, all Alco. And I am a big Alco lover. I love Alcos.
I can tell.
Like, they're some of my favorite locomotive. I have seen them in North Carolina at the Transportation Museum. It's cool.
The Genesis are my favorite locomotives. I just grew up with them.
Heck.
Because Metro North uses them and Amtrak uses them. I wasn't big into freight until like recently.
I know.
I didn't know anything about freight trains until like middle of COVID.
Mm-hmm. Saying about, sorry,
locomotive is from like a mile away.
The thing about freight train is that they got more variety on them, you know?
Yeah, I know, because near me, the only things you're going to get is you're going to get a P32 or maybe a P42 if they're out of dual mode, which is a more common occurrence than not.
I know.
It is funny, though. They're in Penn Station. They just hotbox it.
Mm-hmm.
It's visibly smoky in Penn Station, and they send a P42 down there.
I know, and I'm surprised that those suckers don't catch it on fire there, you know?
Well, no, everyone just gets a little bit of secondhand smoke.
Mm-hmm.
It's not healthy. That's the same problem in Back Bay. That's why they want the MBTA to use electrics in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Amtrak runs through their diesel, so I don't know what they're going to do.
I know. But it did crazy when you did think about stuff that are happening, you know?
I want to know why Amtrak's selling the ACS 64s, even though they're brand new. They're going to sell them once the Aero trains come in. Which I find so stupid because not all the regionals go south of Washington, D.C., so they can just keep the ACS 64s and just buy coaches to use them with.
Well, I think they're not selling every one of them. I think they're only going to sell...
No, they're keeping them for long distance, and the M22s are going to stay for a while on long distance trains as well.
I know, but
I don't know what they're going to do when I guess they'll order venture coaches.
Mm-hmm.
That could be pretty stuck.
To be honest, I don't agree with them selling the locomotives.
Well, I mean, hopefully, like a commuter railroad buys them. Like, hopefully, like New Jersey Trans or something is interested.
Heck, who knows? A new commuter rail can probably, swoop in a Bido and do what intercity service from.
Maybe Caltrain might buy them. They use 25 kilovolts, 60 hertz. That's what they use north of New Haven.
Or the new commuter rail system in Denver.
Yeah, if they decide to buy coaches, because Caltrain, they got those brand new baby bullet sets. Those trains are only a few years old now. They're switching to electric. They're still going to run trains south of San Jose though on diesel.
To be honest,
I don't know about that.
To be honest, I think Caltrain is going to use the diesel on different areas of their route and try to expand out.
That part, but actually now the fact that I think about that, I'm wondering if they're going to order dual mode locomotives like ALP 45s or the new dual mode chargers.
Well, I think for the trains that are not going to be underwire, I think they're going to try to add more route extension,
Yeah, because those trains they're under the wire for like 2/3 of the route. They're not under the wire for like a third of it. Because the southbound line's not busy. So again, I'm wondering if they're the MP36s are made by Bombardier, right?
Right.
So I'm wondering if they might order I'm wondering if they might get the ones from the Montreal used to use. You happened there, right?
Yeah. I have never been there, but I know for a fact that probably going to be one buying them,
Yeah, no, I'm thinking if anyone's going to buy them, it's either going to be New Jersey Transit or Caltrain. Maybe MBTA.
Maybe because, their plans to...
In order to top 3 people buying them, I'd say Caltrain, New Jersey Transit, and then MBTA third.
Mm-hmm.
And then any other people, I think I might buy them. It might be Denver. If they buy coaches, it wouldn't be SEPTA because all their lines are electrified. Mark, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
But Mark doesn't even use the electric as it is. They rarely ever use the HHPAs.
I know. And
Metro doesn't use the same voltage system, so I don't know. I mean, if they build new wires, it's possible, but they want their EMD prime movers.
I know, but they do have an electrified chain that don't use EMD.
No, I know. You know what would be hilarious?
What would be hilarious?
If Metro bought the DM30s from Long Island Railroad and put third rail in instead of catenary.
Oh, God.
Because I can see them doing it too, because they have EMD prime movers, and that's all I want.
I know. More likely, they might, for their main route, not the electrified area, they might do third rail in some of their other area.
That would be so funny.
I know. I don't know why. Now that he said that, I'm now having an odd feeling that might happen.
I'm just thinking about it. Like, they really love their EMD prime movers. I don't know any EMD locomotive that has catenary capabilities. Well, I mean, obviously the AM7 doesn't have a EMD engine.
Excuse me.
I know. To be crazy, if it does happen, that's gonna be a prediction right there.
If they buy the DM30s, that would be the funniest thing in Euro history.
I know, calling it right now. If it happened, we will talk about it again in a future live stream.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, I know they won't get rid of the overhead wires.
No, I know that because they already have equipment for it, but it's a weird voltage. It's like 3 kilovolts, like DC or something.
Mm-hmm. Because the line that it ran on been used for freight, and also the train that they had were interurban trains that ran on streets too.
Yeah. So yeah, they're running on trolley wire basically.
Exactly.
I went out. I think it was like this LaSalle. I forgot what station it's called. South Street. I went out there, got some pictures of time I was from Chicago.
To be honest,
that day was so much fun. So I got in on the Southwest G the day before in Chicago. I go out rail fin and I see 308 and 309 get delivered. The brand new ALCs, which was the last one in phase 6 was 308. And then guess what comes by next?
I know. The thing that I think gonna be crazy is that, and I'll be on it, if they do buy them, the area of the route that they're probably going to use it on would probably be on the racetrack.
The only problem would be the clearance issues with the freight trains.
I know, because it's third rail shoe.
Yeah, because, I mean, it depends how they make the third rail, because the one near me, they the supports are overhead, so they're really chunky. But the ones on Long Island Railroad are supported from underneath the third rail, which is what it is Long Island Railroad locomotives. So they do that. I don't think clearance will be a problem.
I know. The only reason they do it on Long Island because most of the routes do have freight on them.
Yeah. But the freight trains that run near me, I think they have SD40s, AC44s, and SD70s. They cut the corners of the plow so it would fit in the third rail zone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the P42s have kind of a weird plow shape, is to fit within the third rail confines.
I know, but it did crazy when you did think about it,
Yeah.
But it's funny when you did think about it. Like, if it happened, now the only other route that I think could get it is their metro route that is going up to up to Milwaukee. The route that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The route that go all halfway up to Milwaukee.
Another idea with the DM30s, if Metro was really on the meth, they would they put pantographs on the roof and change the motor up so it would accept overhead catenary instead of third rail.
More likely, that's probably what they would do. Heck, the other thing that I might think about this, some of them are already in preservation, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
Some of them are in museum. Some of them, Long Island locomotives. Because some of them do got to go into preservation because that is a rare type of locomotive. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Super rare, and it's historic for that railroad,
Yeah, because that was the first real passenger locomotive. Well, the weird thing is there's DM30s and there's DE30s, so some of them are just straight diesels. I could see Metro grabbing those right away.
I know.
Maybe if they're, they could just buy them and just not use the third rail stuff.
True, but it would be crazy.
If any commuter railroad was going to buy them, it would totally be Metro.
Yeah, because let's be honest, they would be the ones blinded more likely. And if this happened, we will talk about it again, saying, well, like we said, we predicted this.
Excuse me?
Like, I don't know why, but now that he said that, my gut is telling me that's probably going to happen. You know?
Yeah, 'cause, I know the Metro North ones are coming in 2025, which means the Long Island ones will probably be in like 2026.
I know. Now, to be honest, I think more likely if they do the third rail, it will probably be up north of on their north line. You know what I mean?
I think they would do it on a line where they have very little freight action.
More.
I mean, they could do it on the racetrack and just confine freight trains to the middle track. Amtrak trains, every single Amtrak train clears the third rail.
I'm not gonna lie if they do that because the Metric does not own that. BNSF does.
Yeah, so that would be a problem. It would have to be Metro-owned track, which I'm not sure which routes those are besides the electric district.
The thing that I do think might is the north. Reason why I think the north route is because the track that is headed up north to Milwaukee.
Is that state-owned?
I believe so because that line don't get that many freight trains, and it owned by.
Isn't it? Yeah, I can see it. That's decently busy route, and Amtrak used it too.
Also,
no, I think if they were going to use the electric, which they're pretty stupid, so they might not. If they were going to use the electric, they would probably do a rebuild where it would have a pantograph.
I know. More likely, if they.
The third rail would be really silly, but it's like, I wouldn't say it's an outdated technology, but then again, Metro doesn't go very fast, so it could work.
I know, because the Metro route up north, I'll be honest, they don't get that many freight train on that Metro route up north.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's the one to Milwaukee.
Also,
yeah, I think that's a pretty busy commuter route too, from what I remember.
Also, it's owned by CP.
And CP's usually a little more where the rail is. No, I'm not really thinking about it. I don't think with the rail work, but I could see them just using the diesel prime mover more realistically.
More likely, but it did happen.
The rail I thought was hilarious, so I didn't keep that in mind. It would be hilarious if that's it.
I know it'll be funny if it actually happens.
I can see them just buying them and just taking the third rail equipment off, and hopefully, best case scenario, they take the third rail equipment off, put the pantograph on, and reconfigure the electronics.
You know one thing I did thought about now that the whole route, the electric division, is fully double tracked to the international airport. With they finally did that, the old street running section.
Yeah.
It don't exist anymore.
Not good.
Or technically it does, but only for freight and power moves, not for passenger.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly, it now fully double tracked all the way down to O'Hare, to the airport. So that interesting because, if Amtrak decide they can, electrify the Wolverine and connect it up to the electric division,
Yeah, I don't think Amtrak are focused on that, though. In my opinion, the top two routes of interest that they would put over at Catenary on is the Hartford line and the Empire line that I live near. Because the Hartford line, that would take locomotive changes out of every single train besides the Vermonters, which would still need one because it goes all the way up to Burlington, in St. Albans. Because that would probably be the first one they would do. Because that way, CT Rail could use their MA, and that route stayed on too.
Mm-hmm.
The Amtrak ones only stayed on up until Poughkeepsie, then CSX technically owns it, even though Amtrak operates it.
It would benefit all of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the only problem in New York would be there's also third rail, so they would probably only electrify north of Croton. So that it would use diesel out of New York City, but it would go back to electric north, unless they had third rail, pantograph, and diesel, which would be interesting.
More likely, they would probably do all three because there are certain areas coming into New York that are like that.
Well, yeah, because if you're entering the Amtrak tunnel on the Penn, the catenary starts right before you get into the main tunnel in the Penn. The other tunnels just have third rail.
Mm-hmm. So it might work when you did think about it. And some of the locomotives do have dual mode where they have a third rail shoe and overhead catenary. Like that,
What locomotive's that?
I can't remember what locomotive models is, but it's built by the same people who build, the dirt bike, not dirt bike, but the four wheelers and stuff.
Oh, you're talking about the M8s, the EMUs. They don't have diesel though. They're just third rail or overhead.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, those come up to Croton sometimes. But yeah, they run on third rail and catenary, which is interesting. But the voltage is weird. They would have to make the voltage. Well, no, I know the CT rail ones run on 25 kilovolt.
Mm-hmm. But it is crazy when you did think about it. But
I'm
yeah.
not a huge fan of EMUs though for main rail unless it's commuter, because like long distance EMUs, unless it's like a high speed train, it's just like you can't the whole point of trains is expanding the train or taking cars off, putting cars on, like that's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I find annoying about these new aero sets. If they said they might be semi-permanently coupled, how are you going to deal with capacity issues?
I know, and
because at least Alstom agreed to Amtrak if they wanted to add an extra 3 cars to all the Avalia sets, they can.
Mm-hmm. And that saying that I'm going to be surprised if something go wrong,
Well, hopefully they solved all the issues. Most of them already, hopefully. I hope no more come around because I really want to see those things running. As much as I love the old Acellas, they're way past their prime.
I know they're,
and it's not even because of how they're built. It's just how Amtrak takes care of them. Because the power cars are built the internals are the exact same as the original TGV duplex, which is still running plants. So plants run for a long time, and the cars are based on LRCs, which are still running in Canada. So it's just how Amtrak treats them. I was in New Haven, I think it was 2 months ago, and Acela came in, all the paint's peeling off, all the the I'm talking about the blue and the green things, like ovals kind of.
Mm-hmm.
All those are peeling off. The Amtrak logo's peeling off. It looks horrible.
I know. When they are all fully replaced, I guarantee some are going to end up in museums.
Yeah, no, definitely. They'll probably be in national museums. That's a huge symbol of American rail history.
Because that was a big step of bringing passenger rail fully back in.
Yeah.
One might go to.
Illinois Railway Museum gets one because they have electrification.
I know. Oh my! I did.
You know what I can see them doing with them?
What?
They might let Brightline West use them until all their trains come in.
More likely.
I know for a fact all those high-speed trains they're going to order are not going to come in by the time the line is finished. So they're going to have to run a decreased schedule. So I'm assuming they'll go to that. And then when California first opens, they probably won't have all their high-speed trains either because Siemens will probably just be finishing the ones from Brightline West. So the Acellas will go there to run for a little longer. Well, they set that up.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be cool to see the Acellas running out west.
I know. Frankton, in the original art for it, that they did had Acela looking stuff running out west.
I haven't seen that. You sent that to me?
In the 2000s, they had art showing the Acela model running out west. Heck, they even had an Acela-built turbo locomotive.
I think I have that framed in my closet at my dad's house. I think I had that because it was my old room. I never hung it up in my new room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I have a picture. If not, it had a Union Pacific HHP8 in some Amtrak train that was electrified, and it looked like it was out in Kansas or something.
Mm-hmm. But it'll be crazy when you think about it, am I right?
Right. But no, hopefully that idea actually doesn't come to fruition because I would like to see these cells get a little bit more outside of the Northeast corridor.
I know.
I was hoping when they ordered the new train sets, they'd use them for Keystone service, but they didn't.
I know.
Or they're not planning to.
To be honest, I think one is going to end up in the Illinois Museum,
Yeah, no, I hope one's going to have electric, one's probably going to end up in the Pennsylvania Railway Museum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
Now, with the Pennsylvania Railway Museum...
A power car might end up in some big museum in New York City or something.
I know. Maybe the head-end locomotive and a passenger car.
Yeah, but I'm thinking whole trains. That's probably just IRM, and again, hopefully some get sent out to California to start off the high speed rail over there.
I know.
Because even if they can't reach out, well, I think it was 186. They can still do 165.
Yeah, to be on it, they want to be on it. They'll probably start using them on Caltrans, you know?
Again, California Street Rail, the first segment from San Francisco to like Fresno or Bakersfield, wherever they're making them, that would be so good to start off. Because they were planning on ordering like 100 high-speed trains, and they're not going to have that by time. They're not going to have that anytime soon.
I know.
Even anytime soon after the route's finished. Like, they still won't have all the trains they ordered.
Mm-hmm. But it would be a good idea for them to get everything to build ahead of time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's why these cells will be beneficial, hopefully.
It would be beneficial, if you know what I mean. But, yeah. Now, the other thing I will bring up, and what I'm going to be on it about, is that, and the thing that I'm going to bring up, is that Brightline, it probably set an example for California high-speed rail, because they're supposed to break ground this summer.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised how quick things have been going, because all the high-speed rail projects have been, like land acquisition, DA proposal. Brightline West is straight on top of it. Which then again, it's been in planning for a few decades, but they took over and they got straight to work.
I know, and saying into that, I think once in California and Brightline and Florida are done, I think going to set an example for the rest of the U.S. and they're going to eventually start spreading to the rest of the U.S.
Yeah.
And saying is that now that we have that here in the U.S., the airlines, they cannot stop it now.
Well, I think, again, like building new high-speed corridors is great and all that, but I think we need to get with the freight railroads and be like, listen, we need to electrify this line, we need to upgrade the speed so that we can run really nice regional rail in here. Because that'll benefit so much more if we just use existing right-of-way.
I know. Heck,
because building new right-of-way is so expensive.
I was talking to a friend on the American Rail Club Facebook group about over a year ago talking about it. And BNSF own a line in California that only get 2 trains per day.
Wait, where?
In California, and track it so straight as hell, they get to 180.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was my point of Texas Central. I was like, use most of the UP right of way because it's dead straight for like half the route. And then after that dead straight, when all the curves come up, then you can build a new right of way. But use existing right of way, your fullest advantage.
Mm-hmm. I know, and saying is that they're destroying opportunity. Heck, saying is that we let car company, we let the Class 1 freight railroad and truck and airline, we let them all run passenger rail, lockability, all that to the ground, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not good. But am I right?
Yeah.
But yeah. It did crazy when you did think about everything. But yeah.
Yeah, I find it strange that it benefits the railroads too. If they get together with Amtrak and the state and be like, listen, we're going to upgrade this line, which is actually currently taking place in New York, which I find very impressive. They're planning on triple tracking most of the right of way between Albany and I think it's either Syracuse or Buffalo. We'll say Buffalo because technically that would be correct for both. They're planning on triple tracking it and increasing the speed up to 90 or 210 miles an hour. So if freight trains are on faster, Amtrak trains are on faster, there's more freedom of movement because there's a third track there. So operations will go smoother. And it's a win for everyone. I'm glad CSX agreed to that because, for example, Norfolk Southern is too dense to understand that. Like, they will never let that happen.
Yeah, let's be honest, Norfolk Southern is bad when it comes to passenger rail.
I'm glad CSX is letting up on it a bit because everyone was pissed off at Amtrak, which was mostly because of Anderson. He was a really bad leader.
Yeah, it was good that he kicked the bucket,
Yeah.
To be honest, it was good.
Some people that were in his cabinet that were still there, which is not good, but it's been getting better.
I know the people who were still in the covering that agreed with him are finally getting removed. Thank God, it took almost a decade.
Well, everyone at the BIA, I heard, from COVID to after COVID, everyone is new at BIA.
I know.
So that could be for the better or the worse. Probably the better, since VIA was run objectively worse than Amtrak before COVID. I mean, obviously they have a nicer service, but the trains themselves are run so much worse than Amtrak.
I know. Also, guess who the new have you heard named Train Daddy?
Yes, I heard. Yeah, the guy from Britain.
Yeah, he was one who almost brought the New York subway back up to where it should be.
He did a pretty good job of that, considering.
He almost did a good job, but who screwed that over?
Yeah.
Good news is that person who caused him to leave and now not running the state anymore. Am I right?
Yep.
Thanks heaven. Am I right? But I'll be honest about this. Is that thank heaven he not running it anymore, because he was pretty bad at his job.
Yeah.
Now with Train Daddy, with him being good at what he does,
I don't like the position Amtrak put him, because if you're taking like the function of the position in consideration, it's not a very high up position at all.
I know, but he still got them capability, and I still know he's going to work his way to get an Amtrak better.
I'm really hoping they would put him as vice president at least.
All right.
I think it's supposed to be done.
All right.
No, you're good.
Oh, you're. But
I'll just mute up if someone comes at me.
All right, but I'll be on it, man. This is what I'll be on it about. That person who was a president of an airline who became the president of Amtrak, he should have never became that president. Am I right?
No, he was terrible for everything. Like, he wasn't good at Amtrak. He wasn't good at Ford relations, like private cars and stuff. He hated private cars. That's why we don't see them as much anymore.
Hey, well, now that he don't run Amtrak anymore, St. Kevin, am I right?
Yeah.
Now we are seeing.
And that's why all the freight railroads hated Amtrak too. He was very aggressive towards everyone because he thought Amtrak was like the shit, and it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, this would I be honest. Now that we got someone new running Amtrak, hopefully it would be a good thing,
Yeah.
But yeah. But to be honest, what I'll be on about is that he's still part of Amtrak, but he's not in a high position anymore.
Oh.
Am I right?
Oh.
Oh wait, that right. He got removed. Am I right?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, thank heaven. But they are slowly and they're making good process of fixing the damage he have done. It's about time anyway. But yeah. But it did crazy when you think about it. Am I right, Gord?
I hate to say. Oh, I do have a red save launch. I'm kind of let the train stop me.
Now, here, Dean. Now that like with KCCP in, they are very friendly to Amtrak. What I have heard,
Canadian Pacific was always pretty friendly to Amtrak. So was KCS.
Frankly, even though they were friendly with Amtrak, they were not friendly with Via Rail.
Well, they have to deal with Via Rail a lot more than they deal with Amtrak.
True. Well.
And again, VIA is a bit more annoying with operations, like I said before.
True. Now,
they have worse on-time departures than Amtrak.
And
that's saying something.
And here it's up, and Amtrak and CPKC have just made a deal to operate a train from Washington, D.C. down to Houston, Texas.
Where?
To Houston, Texas. Or not Houston, Dallas. Dallas, I meant.
Yeah, okay, that's weird. So is it going to run along the same route as the Cardinal until like Tennessee and then split off?
Around there, and then it will split off and go right through Georgia to Birmingham, all the way down. I know Birmingham don't get Amtrak service, if I'm right, or does it?
Wait, Is it the CP or CN service Detroit?
It was KCS that served the track that Amtrak is talking about running on, and now that
No.
case.
I know. I'm talking about Detroit. You know the tunnel that goes under the water. Because I'm hoping from that the international can come back. It was Chicago to like Toronto or something.
If that come back, that's gonna be a big boom for Amtrak.
Because people like that train, but they just canceled it because it was too annoying with freight railroads.
I know.
And international like security stuff because that was after 9/11.
To be honest, I think it's owned by CP. If it is owned by CP, it would be good, but more likely it's owned by CN, and we know how CN is with the passenger rail.
Yeah, Anderson ruined like every possible relationship that Amtrak had.
I know. The guy was a scumbag and dick. All he cared about was the money.
Mm-hmm, which there was none.
And here, funny thing, I'll be on. Everybody say passenger rail need to make a profit. Oh, if that case, then a highway got to make a profit.
It would be nice if they made a profit, but it's not necessary. If it's government run, it's not necessary. If it's privately owned, it is necessary. But Brightline figured that out. So
I know. Here,
it is not even the trains that are making the most of the money. It's the real estate they're getting, which is why Brightline West was such a good idea. They got a bunch of land in downtown Las Vegas.
And here, Jane, did what I'm going to be on it about, and I'm going to say this: if Patton Rail don't make a profit, and they think that Patton Rail should make a profit, then the highways should make a profit. Roads don't make a profit.
Again, if it's owned by government, it doesn't need to make a profit. It's privately owned, it needs to make a profit because that's not sustainable.
I know, and
Jane, I agree. If it's Amtrak doesn't need to make a profit. Okay, I passed the red signal. I didn't save, so I'm not doing that all over again.
But am I right?
Yep.
But yeah. But it did crazy when you did think about it, because all the a rabbit hole that no one don't bother going down when it need to be go down, you know? Am I right?
Yep.
But it did crazy.
I had 20,000 all-time miles on Train Simulator.
Wow. That crazy.
Level 306.
You know, one route that I think that was pretty good when the route first came out for Train Sim World 3 is the BNSF Cajon Pass route.
I'm not a huge fan of operating US route, but I agree that route is fun to run on because it's faster. I like the ES44s. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. We'll go upgrade.
You know, funny thing is, there's also another railroad that operates through the Cajon Pass that they forgot. You know what it is?
Okay, funny enough, there is UP trains in the game. They added, so like I was going to Cajon Pass one time, and you know the UP tracks parallel the BNSF routes.
Mm-hmm.
I look over, there's a UP train, UP engines and everything. So that they knew what they were doing. They didn't want to add all the extra stuff to make it in. And you know what also operates on Cajon Pass?
Amtrak.
Exactly.
They could have added that because from where the train in right there, right before you get into LA, all the way up to where the line began on the other side of the mountain, there are two Amtrak stations, you know?
Yeah.
That could have added extra variety, you know, making that line even more interesting and more active.
Hey, even the Amtrak, like I would love to play the Southwest Chief services.
Heck, and sorry, Bill. But this is what I'll be on it about. Like, I know you can run on the UP side too, because some of the tracks do connect up in the route in Train Sim World, you know?
Yeah.
And both of them do connect right after they get out of Cajon Pass into LA, and right at you know, get out of Cajon Pass headed into the other direction, you know? So you could be operating both UP and BNSF, you know?
Yeah.
That could have added more variety. Like, I know you can't operate the UP locomotive, am I right?
On Cajon Pass?
Yes.
No, you can't. You can't operate the same exact locomotive, just in BNSF.
I know, and they kind of screwed that up, you know?
Yeah, well, no, I really like the SD70. I don't like running the SD70, but I love it as a trail locomotive because I don't like driving them, but the ES44C4s are not. Like, I don't know why they added them on Home Pass. That was so stupid.
I know, and
Because they only have 8 points of power instead of 12.
like the norm, and the actual locomotive that they use have 12, am I right, on Cone Pass?
Yeah, the ES44C4s only have 4 motors, as the ES44AC has 6 motors. So, but the SD70 has 6 motors, so it adds a bit of power when I'm doing upgrade, so it helps a lot having it as a trail locomotive.
Here's the other thing that I'll be on it about, and I'm going to bring it up. Is that they should have added 4 axle on that line because you do got a local train that run through the mountain, you know?
Yeah.
And a 4 axle one. They could have added that too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it all just 6-hour power on the route in Train Sim World, but the real counterpart out, we got 4 axle power that run on it too, you know?
Yeah.
And that thing, the freight route are mostly all 6-hour axle power, and you don't hardly have 4 axle power. And I would love to see more of that, you know?
I'm going upgrade with only 3 engines and a mile-long freight train. Okay, this would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I might not make it all the way up.
Now, here's the other route. You know, like the Quinnsfield Railroad?
I played it one time. I didn't understand how the locomotives worked.
You know, to be honest, the Quinnsfield is a cool rail route. And funny thing is that CXX actually own the route now, so you can run modern day locomotive and freight on them.
I wish they just made timetable services because I don't like making like custom timetables because usually they're glitched out and they don't work.
I know. Here, Dan, I'm going to bring up, and this what I'll be bringing up, Gord, is that Dane is that the locomotive that originally come with the route are them SD45, F7, SD40.
Oh, you're talking about like in real life, yeah.
Yes. And thing is, the Crenfield used to come all the way down to South Carolina to, Spartanburg, South Carolina, back in its heyday, before it, got bought up by CXX and the Seaboard system.
Yeah.
It was crazy to think about the actual route went all the way through. It crazy. But yeah. Oh my God! I did imagine what a Quinnsfield Heritage unit would look like.
Are they making one? CSX? Oh no, CSX already has. Okay, well, not Heritage units, but they painted SD40s with like the Quinnsfield nose style in the front.
I know, but now that they,
there's like 2 of them.
I know, but they were for tourist railroads that they donated to.
Oh, okay.
Now here, Dan, I'm going to bring it up, and you might think I'm crazy for this, but I think they're going to do a Quinnsfield Heritage unit soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping they make a New York Central, and that's what I'm most excited for. And I hope it isn't the same paint as the NS one, although that's my favorite New York Central paint style. I hope they do like the cyan one. That one was interesting. They had an E8s and stuff.
I know. Now I think they might go with the green version because they did have
that's what I'm talking about. The green one. It was like a really light green.
Mm-hmm.
Or the gray version of that too works fine.
I know. More likely going to go with the green one because it's more eye-casting,
Yeah. And the gray one's really similar to the NS one. I'm hoping they switch it up a bit.
Now, it's crazy because about stuff. You know what else? It's crazy that the Iowa Interstate Railroad.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that, and they would make a perfect train sim route too for what they are.
Mm.
That too, but let's get back to the Heritage unit stuff. But
yeah.
I think we're going to be seeing almost every Heritage unit because CXX is planning because they're planning 26 Heritage units.
That's more than NS, right?
Yes. NS have 21.
That's cool.
Meaning GXX will have the biggest heritage unit fleet in the United States.
Did I tell you I was in Hershey last year at the theme park, and I woke up in my hotel one morning, the train tracks right there. I look over, the Erie Heritage Unit sitting right there.
Oh my God! Did you take pictures of it?
I got a really bad picture because I was with my friend and his mom was like yelling at me because I wanted to go take a picture of the train.
Jesus, what a bitch! Am I right?
I will not beg to differ.
Check me, that's what you call a
I have
Karen.
it somewhere. Let me look for it.
Check me, that what you call a Karen, you know?
She's the definition of a Karen. What's this like? Besides the haircut, she doesn't have a haircut.
Is she white?
Yes.
Oh dear, does she get pissed off at everything?
Yes.
Oh, we got a Karen at work. But was that your only time catching it, or have you caught it more times?
I caught the, I don't know if it's an SD40 or SD45. Because NS has two. They have that one, and I saw the SD70 is what I'm talking about.
But to be honest, that what you call a true Karen, you know? Getting pissed off that stuff don't go the way that they want it. You know? But it's funny.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, we have never had an NS Heritage unit come down our line since they were built.
It's interesting.
And did the A line.
There's no way I deleted it. I might have.
Oof.
I did catch some NS trains there. I caught a train because his sister had a volleyball tournament or something. No, soccer tournament. So the train tracks right behind the field. I went over there. I caught a train. I had NS leading, BNSF second, and then a UP third.
Oh, that an eye catch.
Oh, does Instagram save stories? I posted on my Instagram and I was like, "You're kidding me."
Instagram does save stories, you know, they do.
Yeah, it might be archived.
Heck, do you have a Google Plus account? Not a Google Plus.
I got it. Oh, it's like such bad quality.
Do you have Google
Photos?
Photos?
Barely make it out.
But yeah. Now, to be honest, it's funny when you did think about all the crazy stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm. You could barely make it out. Like you're gonna have to look at it.
Well, what? All right.
You can see the top. You can see the radiators, and you can see like the red and gold line.
Oh, I can see it. I can see that sucker. And you know, that was about 12 days before my birthday that year, you know?
Happy extra late birthday. Actually, technically, thanks closer to happy early birthday.
I know, my birthday August 25th. I'm a 25th baby.
Alright.
Hey, well,
Oh,
I know you got school tomorrow, and I know you got to get ready to go to bed, and I got to get ready to go to bed.
I'm pretty tired too.
So, talk to you later, man.
Alright.
Later. You too. Alright, that was our friend Groot. We're not doing a magazine day tonight because I got to check what magazines that I have already went through. So, I finally caught up on that. But, yeah. But I hope you all enjoyed the live stream. I hope everybody having a great Monday night. Please like and subscribe. And
I'll talk to you guys later.
bye, guys. Have a night, everyone.
Peace.
Peace.